still says processing video over here.
Yeah, it's delayed a little bit. All right. Good to go. Ow. Maybe we need to go back and do this.
It's right there.
Oh. Processing. What the hell? Why can't we see it? Processing video. I don't know if it's live or not. Your channel. Yep, it's right here. But okay. Something's funky with your iPad. Let's just go ahead and reconnect this because I don't know what's going on there. Let's go back.
Playlist.
It's right here. It's live. Okay, there we go. I don't know. That's bizarre. YouTube took a shit. Cool. All right, so cool stuff. Now we're on. Yep, it works. Livestream. Number 4. All right. Cool stuff. I see we got 3 people watching. That's a good start.
Cool.
I'm gonna wait a couple seconds until everybody can get on in, and then we'll start. We'll begin. We're gonna start off with a little bit of news this time, and then go right into our PPE review. Hopefully, you guys all have the PPE beer. We know we got ours. I kind of wish we got more. They're rebrewing it though.
That's good.
So it's gonna. I'm guessing that they're doing that for more money towards the cause. So that would be cool. So yeah. See, this is what I hate about Apple products and YouTube is that it stops playing when you quit the app. I think that's dumb. I think you can, if you pay them, then you can,
No.
obviously. But, yeah. So tell us how you guys are doing. Post up in the chat.
Who's on the chat?
No one yet. No one said anything except for me. Start a conversation, guys. Come on. Now, I wonder if I can link to... I can. Because I was clever about it. All right,
I got to sneeze.
Do it. Even though it's raining right now, we're suffering from seasonal allergies.
Really
so
bad.
It's kind of like we go into the grocery store and cough and sneeze, and people like just, oh, get away from me. No, coronavirus.
It's like, no, it's just allergies.
It's pollen, guys. It's pollen.
Oh,
Ryan.
Cool.
Hey, thank you for brewing it, man. It's awesome to see you. So Ryan It works at Waters End, and he's a good pal. Every time we go over there, he's either there or somebody else we know is there, and it's nice to see friendly faces. PPE is a good cause. Josh is here too.
Josh is there.
Hey. Yes, PPE will be brewed this Wednesday up at Beltway. $6 per 6-pack donations will go to everyone sold. We'll continue. Yep. So it's the same deal with the PPE. They're just going to rebrew it, and the same donation amount goes right to the people that need it, the people on the front line. Emergency healthcare workers doing their part. Sandra was actually saying that she was watching a documentary on a lady that was a nurse.
Yeah, it was an
Or
NPR
doctor?
thing that I was listening to. It was a nurse that went to the front lines in New York City to help out back in early April and late March, and she was doing journal entries every night on her experience every day, and it was terrorizing. The stuff that she was saying was just insane. People were just dying, dropping like flies.
You were saying that they were dying before they could even get administered the test.
Yeah, they were just dying there in the
They're like,
hospital.
hey, I think I might have this, and the doctors are okay. Hang tight. In 20 minutes, we'll get you a little swab test or whatever, and then they would come back and they would be dead.
Yeah,
That's
they
messed
didn't
up.
even make it, and so she would recount about how many people died in front of her that day, that night.
Dude, that is horrible.
That's crazy.
Ugh. Well, we're not trying to end on a bad note today.
Yeah.
So enough coronavirus talk for the moment. We just want to know how you guys are doing, what you're drinking, how has it been going with you guys, how you're handling this whole thing. Luckily, local breweries are kicking it, man. I mean, it's been great. They're doing the curbside pickups. They're doing food delivery. Basically, some of them are doing delivery, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of folks are frequenting these shipping. This is awesome. I mean, and even breweries that are far away, like some in Richmond, they're doing this.
Yeah,
Triple
they're
Crossing
shipping.
is doing it. I don't think Stone is doing anything
No,
that we
but
know
the
of yet,
Veil
anyway.
is.
But the Veil is, yeah. We got a big delivery from the Veil the other week. So yeah, that's awesome to see local breweries doing this sort of thing, and so it's not only helping the local breweries out and the local businesses out, but it's also helping people that are locked inside that need to consume alcoholic beverages. So they do say that everybody's drinking way more heavily nowadays. So
Or drinking on the job. So while they're working from home,
Yeah.
they're having that 11 a.m. beer.
I know I'm doing it.
At 12
10 o'clock
p.m.
after my coffee, I'm like, what am I going to do today? I have nothing going on. And then I'm like, should I start drinking beer?
Might as well.
I mean, whatever. I started at 10 o'clock today. Don't judge me. We're all in this together.
But you also took a nap, so it's
I did
okay.
take a nap. I always take naps. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. Let's get into some news real quick. I don't know who else is joining, but we're just going to keep it moving. We got about an hour to kill here. So, the first article that I was able to pull up, some of this news is not new. It's maybe a month old or so, but it's all relative. This article coming from brewbound.com states that 46% of breweries say that they may be forced to close within 3 months. Now, again, this is one of those things where it's not definite. Nobody really knows how many breweries are affected by this, but there's definitely like 8,300 breweries at the moment in Virginia, and probably like 2,000 of those are like hobby breweries, like people that started to pick this up when craft beer was, coming to the limelight and becoming popular. And I feel like some of those places are definitely going to probably go under, and you'll see it in the coming months, even after we reopen. I think they're going to be probably too, slammed with bills and back rent and stuff like that. And some of these breweries' landlords are being dicks, and they're just, you pay us on time. There's no sort of like remediance for the coronavirus, and that's crappy. And we've heard a couple stories about that too. But some are being okay about it. Some are, slashing the price a little bit, and they recoup the price later or something, some deal like that. I don't know. But I think, what do you guys think? Post up in the comments. I think that breweries who have good beer and a good acumen are going to survive. Those that are doing lots of like good social media interaction, lots of like marketing in a way that can reach their customers on a very deep level, those people are going to probably stick around and stay relevant. But those that are kind of sitting there begging for money and not doing any of these, like Waters End is that's a great thing. They're getting people in the door to buy the beer, but they're also saying, hey, we're donating some of this money right to charity. Some are not doing that. Some are just kind of reaching out and saying, hey, please give us cash. Some are just doing the standard, like, hey, we're still open, come by and see us sort of thing. And that's fine. But I think breweries just need to be cognizant of the fact that, like, it's a real thing. Like, money is short. Like, there's not that, businesses in general, we don't make that much profit in general. It's not, when you pay a price for beer, you're not 90% of that is not going right to the brewery. I mean, it's probably like 5 to 10%, I would imagine, or something like that. So continuing to support these local breweries is super important, and we think that everybody needs to keep doing that. And maybe it could be that like some brewery owners are just like, they're going to close because they're just done. Like, think about this. If you started brewing beer and opening a brewery when that crest started to hit, would you be like just like sick of it already? I mean, it's been how many years since that was like a huge thing? It's like a decade, If they've been doing it for a decade, maybe 2 decades, I don't even know, man. I mean, maybe they're just tired. Maybe they're just like done. They're like, whatever, this is the last straw. Like, maybe I should just stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. We want to know what you think about that. Let's go back to the stream and see what people are saying about that. Nothing yet.
All right.
I'm surprised there's not more people in here.
Yeah. Well, it is Sunday.
Yeah, it is Sunday. It's a weird day for a live stream. But either way. So the next article is coming up again from Brewbound. Prairie Artisan Ales pledges to donate $10 per order to workers affected by COVID-19. It's pretty cool. $10 per order. No minimum order, apparently. So that's pretty cool. Well, it has to be over $10, I guess. Or actually, I think I'm wrong. I think it actually has to be over $20.
And then $10.
And then then half of that goes to whatever. But yeah, $10 per order. Over $20 will go to affected workers, and that's kind of cool because it's not just hospital workers. It's workers, anybody, like retail workers, self-employed, whoever, which is pretty awesome. I think that's a good thing. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on that. The next cool thing is PDT. They broadcast a 60-minute like educational sort of webinar about the specifics of yeast. If you want to learn more about different strains or how yeast just generally works in beer, how it's used, that sort of thing. That's pretty cool. So that comes as a surprise. I didn't expect White Labs to do anything like that for the public. They're pretty. Why. I don't know. I feel like they're pretty closed off and like to themselves, and they're pretty like into the industry rather than like into the public. When we were in North Carolina on our honeymoon, we saw White Labs, and that was like we were just driving down the road. I was like, is that what I think? Really?
It was like a brew pub for White Labs. It was like their one and only brew pub that exists. I guess. It
was cool as shit. Like I did not expect to see that, and it was right near the hotel, and we ended up going there, and like everything was like super good.
Yeah.
They had a lot of like really interesting styles. They had a lot of Belgian stuff. They had what was our favorite one? I feel like it was the Belgian triple.
It was a Belgian of some sort. What I liked about that place was not only was the beer like super clean, but like on the menu itself, I think every beer name was named after like the strain of yeast that they produced.
Right.
And so the first thing you would see is like the actual name of the yeast that they used, and then some of the notes that you should be picking up.
It was cool. I mean, they definitely did a really good job with the descriptions and stuff like that. Like when anybody would come in, it was very easy associate what you would get out of that beer, hypothetically,
Yeah.
without even drinking it. And then you drink it and you're like, wow, yeah, I taste all that stuff. And a lot of the beers were very yeast forward. There were styles that were very conducive to showing the product off. And I thought that was really cool. It's a cool take on. I've just never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was cool. And then the food was really great. Like I had a pizza. I remember
That's
that.
right.
You had a salad that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like it was good. It was good times.
Yeah,
But yeah, like the whole place was. It basically was like a laboratory on the first floor. Like half of the building was a laboratory, and you could see microscopes and like all kinds of weird machines in the back with like lots of buttons on them and shit.
Yeah.
Very like scientific looking clean room kind of thing. But then the other half was like a bar, and then. And obviously that science section was closed off to the public, but the bar area was really nice and like kind of rustic looking. It was really cool, and it had upstairs, which had
It was like a rooftop kind of.
yeah, it was kind of a rooftop, but it was also the back parking lot. So
Yeah.
it's because the building's kind of on this hill, so it was cool. Really like that. So it's cool to see them actually, doing this, and we'll leave a link to all these articles in the description after the live stream if you're interested. The next thing we wanted to get into is WeldWerks is set to launch a series of virtual events as well. And these are basically just all kinds of events. So the general manager at Brewery is speaking as well in one of these events, which is kind of cool. It's like a TED Talk kind of thing for beer,
Yeah.
which is neat.
So they get one from like somebody from Burial, from Jester King, somebody from the Brewers Association.
Yeah. This event, though, is limited to, well, some of these events are limited to 100 people, and some of them are not limited at all. So it's kind of, you kind of just got to sign up when you hear about it, and you reserve your spot, and then you go in and you virtually, I guess, attend these TED Talks, which is kind of cool. So that's a neat thing as well. What else we got going on? That's it.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much all the news that we wanted to go over. So that's pretty cool that there's stuff going on. All right, let's read some comments real quick and catch up. 2012 was the pint law, Ryan says. That BA survey only got 500 or 600 breweries to respond out of the 8,300, so those hurting the most may have felt more compelled to reach out. Yeah. I tried to get in on that whole BA thing, but yeah, that wasn't happening.
What?
Spend some time there. Oh, that's very cool.
Okay, yeah,
That's very cool. Thank you, Ryan. That's excellent information. We did not know any of those intricate details of that. Right now, we're drinking up. What even is this? It's a pale ale.
This is Hop Hands by Tired Hands.
Tired Hands.
So it's a 5.5% pale ale.
It's rather good. We got a nice crowler of that via Highside? Was it
yeah.
Highside? So shout out to Highside. You guys are doing good things. We are enjoying all the cool beers that are coming through you guys' place lately. Definitely helps out the beer drinkers amongst us during these trying times. Yeah, I really like that place, White Labs. We gotta go back there. We gotta go back to North Carolina, hit up White Labs. We gotta hit back up Sierra Nevada for sure.
That was fun.
That was so much fun. We got this like whole virtual private tour by ourselves. It was amazing, and they gave us like water bottles, and we mentioned that in one of our reviews, one of the Sierra Nevada reviews. It was just such a cool, memorable, and maybe it's because it was memorable because we were on our honeymoon.
Yeah,
that could be
I think so too.
But because we're both into beer, I think it really helped out that like we were alone, one-on-one with the guide guy, and he took us, like, we did the hiking tour. Yeah. And that was like so cool because you just see all the stuff that they produce on site, that you saw all the conservation efforts that they did, all the things they did for that land and what they do in general for like nature. They're real like nature hiker type people, and like kind of so are we. So it made sense.
All their sustainability efforts that they've made.
They were the first LEED platinum facility, a brewery.
Oh, really?
Ever, I think.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
That might, yeah.
And they like everything in that brewery, down to the gravel that they used in the parking lot, was LEED certified. Like everything had a sustainability aspect in mind. They recycle all their water. Like they do, like even from the toilets. I think they were saying that like 80% of their water, something crazy like that, was recycled. Yeah. Just right back into the beer and stuff. And it's like that's weird. But then they go into it and you're like, oh wow, it's super hype. That's super intense, super high end stuff.
My favorite was like at the end of our hike, they took us to their outdoor. Oh man! I don't know. It's like an outdoor post, I guess, that they have, and it's hidden behind like somewhere deep in the woods, right by the river, that is adjacent to the actual brewery, and they have like a permanent food truck there, and they have a permanent bar out there.
It was cool.
And they have hammocks. And they have picnic tables, cool. and they had like these really nice portable restrooms, and then we had like beer that was specific. Why did he bring us those specific beers? I think it was...
So it was specific to the hike in general. Like whoever took the hike got those 4 beers at that specific time. So if you did the outdoor tour in the wintertime, it would be different beers. It would be heavier beers. Guess so, yeah. But we got like Sierra Veza. We got the classic pale ale. We got the lime lager thing.
Oh, there was a Goza. We had a Goza of some sort, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a Goza in there somewhere.
And I was like, wow, this is actually good, and I don't like Gozas.
And then there was something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but like the 4 beers, and he just like busted out some plastic cups from his backpack, and he was just like, all right, guys. He went to this like weird like beer storage locker or something inside a bush. Like over there, he's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some beers for you guys. Go to the bathroom if you need to. And he went to the bathroom, and I was hanging out. And I looked back, and like dude man was going to like this bush. I was like, what the hell is he doing in this bush? And he had a key, and he was like unlocking like a chest, and it was like a cooler that was like hooked up to electrical power somehow in the middle of the woods. It was like so brilliant, and like he just got beer out of there and brought a 6-pack back and like just started cracking them open. He was like, here you go, this is this beer, you're supposed to get these notes. Very cool tasting, like in its environment. I thought that was really cool. You're right, like it was really, really cool. But yeah, anyway, that's super side tangent right there. What an adventure. I love that place. The only thing about that place, and we did mention this in the review too, is the fact that like the security guard was a little bit of a bitch. Like
at the end.
He thought we were like stealing stuff in the gift shop or something, and he followed us around for a while. Like it was really bizarre. Like I was vaping in like a place I shouldn't be, and like somebody came up and was like, hey, you can't do that. And okay, whatever, that's fine. And then so I didn't, and then like from that point on, they just followed us like
that particular
creepily. That particular one, and they have cameras like everywhere in the trees. Like you can't even see them; they're like up in the tree. Like they're super high tech facility. But it was really bizarre because like they just basically made sure we left without causing chaos, and we were like,
I don't know.
What are you? We're just tiny people like drinking beer. What do you?
Maybe he was bored and he wanted to pick on somebody.
I guess. Probably. I think he had like some sort of complex or whatever. But. Yeah. Whatever. Other than that, it was fantastic.
Should we go into reviewing the beer?
Let's do it, man. Okay. Let's get into the PPE. Hopefully, everybody that is in here has some PPE to spare and to drink. I know a couple of our friends have picked it up already because I saw the post on Facebook, and so they might be waiting for this right here to start drinking it. So here it is. The PPE, the people performing under extreme conditions. This is beer brewed by Beltway.
And by Waters End.
And Waters End. Collaboration
this
kind
is
of
an actual
thing.
Collaboration.
So, yeah.
People
performing under extreme conditions. I always thought it should be called like PP something. PPE. People performing extraordinary feats. PPEF. PPEF. Either way, 6.6%. This is an IPA. This beer uses like a base malt of two-row and Maris Otter, apparently. And it's got wheat, Munich, honey malt, Spitz. There's a bunch of different malts in there. And it's really meant to be a very clean sort of base beer. And then they just load it up with Pacific Northwest hops. Like,
So we're gonna
it
get
sounds crazy.
like
There's
piney notes and
yeah, there's
resinous.
Cascade in there. There's
Simcoe,
yeah, Simcoe is in there.
Amarillo.
Simcoe is used, I think, as, or Chinook rather, is used as like a grapefruit kind of pop. And then Amarillo is also in here, and that is going to lend some sort of peachy kind of qualities to it. I don't think it's going to be super intense, but we're going to find out ourselves. Smells like a beer. We'll get further into that one as we go. Here you are. Get a nice aggressive pour on that guy. There you
Maybe too much of a head.
That's okay. Head is good. Head turns into beer eventually, right? So yeah, this has just got like a total hop burst.
Very clear.
Is it? Yeah, it is kind of clear. Yeah. It almost looks like an amber ale.
Yeah.
It's got that nice coppery sort of color to it. Definitely has got some great head. Like,
yeah,
that's definitely like a 2-finger head going on right there.
The head is, it looks dense. It looks good.
Yeah.
Micro bubbles everywhere.
Yeah, very, very tiny little micro bubbles
creamy,
happening.
Yeah.
Looks like it has a decent amount of carbonation rising out of the glass. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Let's take a sniff test and see what is happening in here. Yeah, I mean, definitely getting a little bit of resiny character. It smells dense, first thought.
I'm getting those citra notes. Well, the citrus notes from the citra hops.
Yeah, that's probably Citra right there.
Is there mosaic in here?
A little bit of pine. Getting that. Is there mosaic? I don't believe so.
I am getting a really kind of strong scent of apricot in the back.
Yeah. I can't pick out apricot, but, well, it's light. I think it's light.
The more I smell it, the more apricot I get.
It's almost indescribable. I mean, I guess apricot is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Apparently this beer underwent a vigorous whirlpool session, so maybe that has something to do with how juicy this is going to be, theoretically. So let's dive in and kind of see what's going on. Cheers. Oh, it's pleasant. Yeah, resinous.
Okay, yeah.
It's piney. It's resinous right up front.
I'm not getting a lot of piney notes.
Oh, I get it. It's on the back.
I am getting a lot of that apricot mixed with the citrus notes from
Yeah.
the citra.
I get that resinous, clingy character. It's almost like chewy. It's resinous though, definitely. It has this
I'm
kind of
some
deep,
resinous character.
this deep hoppy, bitterness to it. It's not over the top in any way. It is very present there.
The bitterness kind of hangs out in the back of your throat a bit.
It does, yeah. It clings around a little bit.
But then it goes away.
That's pretty good. It's light bodied. That's what's weird about this one. I thought it was going to be a little punchier, but it drinks very easily, and that's cool. What is this? 6.6.
6.6.
6.6. Okay.
6.6.
6.6. Let's read the can. We did this backwards today.
Yeah, usually we read the can first.
Yeah. People performing under extreme conditions. Healthcare workers and emergency responders are working overtime in hazardous situations to save us, which is true. So let's do our part to protect them. $6 from every 6-pack sold of this beer will benefit the Innova COVID-19 Emergency Preparedness Fund, to be used in part to purchase personal protective equipment, PPE, for our healthcare heroes. We raise a can and salute to those risking their own health for the common good. Cheers. And we as well salute you, healthcare workers. If anybody in the healthcare industry is watching, Thank you so much for all that you do. You are keeping us all healthy. It's just really great to see, to see people doing good things in times of turmoil. It puts my heart at ease. It makes me feel good. It doesn't it? I mean, it's good to see good things happening even in terrible times.
That's always awesome when you show the best of humanity.
I think some of it's coming out. I mean, the worst is too, but I mean, you got assholes everywhere, so it's fine. But ultimately, there's more good happening in the world right now than there is bad, so we have that to at least go off of.
Okay, that's cute. I just noticed that the little images, little icons in the PPE logo are actually like their face masks, their gloves.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Little scrubs right there.
Scrubs, yeah.
So Red Leader Studios did the artwork for the can, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you look at like it's like kind of cartoony.
It's kind of like comic book heroes.
Yeah, it's comic book heroes. Like
they made them look like heroes.
If they just put a cape on these dudes, they'd be comic book heroes right there.
That's pretty fantastic. Cool because they are. They are our heroes and during this time.
Ryan says that the master brewer, worked at Red Hook, then Dogfish. So he's a head brewer during the Brewmaster on Discovery Channel days. Whoa, that's real old school. I like that. That is cool. Yeah, very good. I mean, it's awesome to see this sort of thing happening. And I kind of wish more breweries would actually do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really cool idea. And yeah, the 6-packs are a little expensive.
But it's for a good cause, and it's not that much.
Yeah, when you break it down, $6 out of the $18 for the 6-pack. What was it? 6-pack. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, because you go to the Vale and you pay what?
You'll pay like $20 for a 4-pack.
Right, so it's like 4-pack
and nothing's
of 16
going
ounce
to a good cause. So.
Right, so it's just going into their pockets.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, but
to create more trendy clothes. And
so I'm willing to spend shit tons of money on this beer just because a lot of it is going to a good cause, and I think that's awesome. I think it's a great thing to do, and I think that's where all of our money should be going. When you get your stimulus checks, take $20.
Yeah,
it's not much, and just give it to somebody random you see, donate it, put it into a good place, and it'll come back eventually. Might not be tomorrow, but it'll come back at some point. Karma, man, it's real. Yeah. It's a real thing. I like this beer.
Cool.
It's got this really nice malty kind of character to it that sort of continually builds. That's nice. It's really nice.
It is getting more...
That 2-row really comes out as it warms up, I feel like. Getting a little bit more bitter as it warms up, though, for me. Which is okay. It's not that bitter.
No, the bitterness is fine. It's definitely reminiscent. I say reminiscent because it's been a while since I've had a real West Coast IPA.
Yeah, it has been, right?
But it definitely, for those West Coast IPA lovers.
Yeah, it's very
definitely reminds me.
It is very classic in the style that it's brewed in. This is a West Coast IPA for 100%. It's totally in that style, and all the hops that are used, again, all Northwest sort of hops. In this one, it definitely displays all the characteristics you would expect: a resiny, piney, fruity, slightly cloying sort of presence that you get out of those beers.
Definitely, yeah. The grapefruit for sure is coming out more now.
Yeah.
As it warms up.
Yeah, I think it was a little cold.
Yeah.
To begin with, to get all of everything in there in your mouth.
But it's good. It's almost like we're so used to these hazy. Fruit
especially
smoothie
we are used
inspired IPAs that
we've been doing a lot of those stupid hazy IPAs and milkshake IPAs lately. So it's nice to get back to our roots and get a West Coast kind of beer.
I miss it.
I kind of do too, man. I mean, these days I really want to re-explore our roots. We came from Miller Lite and Bud Light and stuff like that. all of us did. No, all of us did. All of us drank that shit.
At one point, we all drank that.
You were drinking Michelob Ultra at one point. So, I mean, but that was at, like at parties and stuff like that where we didn't get a choice in beer. But when we can bring our own, we would grab a red ale, we'd grab a pilsner, something similar to that. But as we progressed into craft beer, we got more into sort of like the Stone-esque type of beers, the West Coast beers, like the Howling Gale, great West Coast local, beer. So it's nice to see something that's not so hazy, not milky, not creamy. It's a different sort of. It kind of throws you through a loop almost. You're like, whoa, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's kind of nostalgic in a way. So maybe we should feature some more of those on the channel.
Yeah, although I find it like more difficult to find.
It's hard to find. I don't know why
because
nobody's doing it.
Because everybody's trying to do the haze craze nowadays, so it's...
Haze craze nowadays.
So they're kind of steering away from all of those like delicious Northwest pines that we grow here in the States.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like too expensive, like the hop varieties are too pricey or something like that. I don't know what the deal is, but like the breweries need to start doing like really well done West Coast style IPAs again. I miss that. It's fine. Keep the haze craze going because I like that too. But different strokes for different folks at different times. That's what I think. Sometimes I'm in the mood for one of these, and sometimes I'm in the mood for a haze bomb. Just depends on what I feel like drinking.
And definitely, I think for a brewery to do all kinds of different styles of IPAs and do it and execute it really well is what really makes them stand out as a good brewery. So a brewery that can do all that stuff is pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's not that many of those around, man. Oh, Ryan says actually the old school hops are much more affordable. That's interesting that they're cheaper. Because then you'd think that, like, especially now, in these trying times, that, like, breweries would be more laser focused on getting styles that are using those hops, those ingredients, those different things.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I feel like that would be the easiest thing to do. It's bizarre.
Maybe it's just not the trend.
I mean... You got to look at what makes money, man. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? I mean, breweries aren't in business to not make money, right? So,
at some point.
I mean, they're there to cater to beer drinkers ultimately. And what do they want right now, today, this week, this month? Hazy IPAs sell well. That's just everywhere, pretty much. I think Waters End, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but Waters End, probably their most popular beer is the Dam beer, which is it's a Pilsner, right?
No, I think it's a lager.
Oh yeah, it is a lager.
I think
and it's it's a lager. I mean, it's a just give me a damn beer.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. And it's a great beer, but it's like it's not a hazy thing. It doesn't have any adjuncts in it that I know of. It's just a thing. It's just a beer. So yeah. Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, Nelson can all get over $30 a pound. Yeah, Citra especially. Citra has always notoriously been a very expensive hop to buy. So.
Okay, Dam beer is a golden ale.
Golden ale,
okay.
sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Golden ale, but yeah.
It is the best.
But I was right. See, I mean, and people want that approachability, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like they have also a beer at Waters End that's the greatest beer in the world. I think that's what it's called, and that's a what's it called? I have to Google what that is. Ryan, tell us what the greatest beer in the world is. I think it's a double IPA. It's an Imperial IPA.
It's a double IPA.
I think it's double. Yeah, and that beer is, while great, it's again if you don't like hops, you're not gonna like that beer. You know, like so. I don't know what you gotta like test your market and see what people in the area like, what they'll buy, you know, that sort of thing. It's all about market research and marketing and all that stuff. But yeah, that kind of segues into the beer news again, actually.
There is a beer, the 1804.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about that forever. The
1804
so
or
1864
no,
or 1776 or whatever it is. I don't know what the hell the beer's name is, but
Well,
18
the only
something.
reason why I kept getting it mixed up was because the bartender mixed it up the first time around. When I went to go back to her,
she gave you the wrong beer.
she was like, "Oh no, that's not what it's called. It's actually called this." So I keep getting it mixed up in my head, but I think it's a 1804, and it's this hazy like double IPA that was just intense mango notes in it, and I love mango.
It was super intense.
I was in love with that beer. I was like, "This is just."
And she's always looking for it. So Ryan, if you can make that beer again, like we'll buy a ton of that stuff. Like apparently it was super. I didn't have it that night because I was trying to take it easy, but Sandra and also Woody liked that too.
Yeah,
he said he
really
liked
good.
it too. Really good beer.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant. 1804, the year Occoquan was founded, where Waters End is. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a tribute beer. Coming back in a week. Oh, it's coming back. Oh, okay. So everybody in the area has to go and find this beer from Waters. It's available at Waters End. You don't have to find it anywhere, but it's gonna be there.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
coming
I
back
need to go get like multiple crowlers out of it.
We're coming back.
And I love IPAs and double IPAs, and I'm an IPA fiend. I mean, but that beer, I was just like, oh my god.
Something about that beer. She'd been talking about it for months, ever since
It was very memorable.
Ever since we had it, yeah. Interesting stuff. I really want to see a nice, clean Pilsner by some local brewery. I don't care who it is, really. I want to see, and we've got a buddy just dropped off this morning, the Triple Crossing.
It's a pale ale.
Pale ale.
Paranoid.
But I feel like that thing is going to taste more like a Pilsner than anything else. I just have a feeling. I'm not 100%. We'll probably put it on the channel. But it's coming into the spring months. I think breweries need to start thinking about what people are going to want to drink when they're out of quarantine. Perhaps. I think people are going to get outside a whole ton. And I think they're going to go to parks. I think they're going to go to, places of leisure. And they're going to take their beer with them. They're going to stop by the brewery, pick it up, and then go. Maybe if the shipping is still a thing, they're going to do that and then take it out to... I will take my beer out to Shenandoah, no problem. Mm-hmm. And create epic videos of beer. For no reason other than I like doing that. But that's what people do. I've seen people drink beer on like cliffs on where I proposed to you on the Hawksbill Mountain.
Yeah,
where we got
that's
engaged.
A dangerous.
They were just chugging fucking beer, just bah. And that's what people do, and you're allowed to do it as long as you're not on an overlook in Shenandoah. You can drink beer or anything really.
That's kind of scary.
That's kind of scary, but yeah, maybe a little bit of Darwinism sprinkled in there. But yeah, I mean, like Pilsners, lighter ales, that sort of thing is definitely coming into style these months. And I'm excited to put a bunch of those on the channel. I know a couple of the people that view our stuff like those specifically, German styles, lighter stuff, Pilsners, that type of thing, lagers. So they're super waiting for us to do that instead of focusing so heavily on IPAs, and that's fine. That's good. It's going to be good, though. Yeah. Ornery Kolsch is phenomenal. Yes, the Ornery Kolsch. I know a little bit of backstory about that beer.
Is that the same Mad Fox Kolsch, a.k.a. the same Charlie Fairwinds Kolsch?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, the Ornery Kolsch is the Charlie Fairwinds Kolsch.
Okay, yeah. He shared the recipe with like a few of the local brewers, and I think it was Mad Fox, Ornery, and Fairwinds.
Yeah, so that's just the sort of secret there. But I don't know, the way Ornery does it, something about the way Ornery makes that beer is different enough to where it's completely different. It just is. And I like both. And the Fairwinds Kolsch actually is the one that is the first one that I really was like, oh man, like yeah, Fairwinds, okay, like you got it going on. But then I had when we went to Casey's funeral at or funeral reception, I guess you could say, at Ornery, we definitely had the Ornery Kolsch there, and I was like, yeah, this is really good. It's really, really good. It doesn't taste anything like the Fairwinds one.
Oh,
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. And it could be just the process that they use. Yeah. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you on the channel. PPE went down smooth, just like when the Gale first. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Actually, that was the first thing that went through my head when I saw this beer. I said, "This looks like the
Howling Gale." Yeah.
And it probably tastes just like the Howling Gale.
And Josh even compared the PPE to Gale. Yeah, I mean, it really does. It really does remind me of the Howling Gale. It's a little lighter in alcohol, which I really like. I think the Howling Gale, I would love it if it were a little less alcoholic. I tend personally to gravitate towards lighter ABV beers because I feel like I'm a little alcohol sensitive, and I can't really do a ton of alcohol content. Plus, I can't drink more than one and mow my lawn in a straight line. So there's also that. And now that we have bought a house,
there's no lawn to
I have to. Well, there's some.
I guess
there's things to do. I'm gonna have to tighten screws and stuff and use tools and power things and be a man about it. So there's that. I can't do that if I drink an 8% IPA and then try to shovel snow off my driveway or something. I'm gonna slip and bust my ass.
Yeah. But yeah, Howling Gale was one of the first IPAs I fell in love with.
Yes, and I was gonna say, and it was like one of our favorite beers from that brewery, bar none. Things have changed a little bit. We're not gonna go too far into that, but it's definitely like a staple. I think it's still one of the top sellers of Fairwinds. It's like the
distro
beer
too.
In distro, in bars. It's a core beer, and it has its place for sure. Personally though, I go for like the more modern stuff that they've just been coming out with, like the Iron Maiden beer. What the hell is that called? The Iron Man, the Iron Master.
Iron Master IPA.
I love that beer. Well, I loved it. But then there's another one, the Sessions in the Abyss. Yeah. These are all kind of like rock metal inspired, Seasons in the Abyss from Slayer, right? That's the album that one copies. The Iron Master is like an Iron Maiden inspired beer. I wanted them to do an Anthrax beer because that would be fucking. Just do all the big four, right?
Thought they
do
did
Metallica,
at one point.
do Metallica, do Iron Maiden.
I thought they did the Anthrax inspired.
I never saw that.
I thought, or maybe that was somebody was discussing that at the brewery. I'm not sure.
I was talking to one of the bartenders about that, and I was like, "This is what you should do. You should do Anthrax next." And he was like, "Yeah, we're thinking about it." I'm like, "You better be thinking about it because do the big four and release them as like a 4-pack. That would be freaking awesome. Like you get one of each in the 4-pack. And it wouldn't be $20. It would be $14 maybe. That would be cool. Yeah. You just get the big four and just call it the big 4-pack. Yeah. It'd be so amazing. Do it. I would totally buy it. And each one is like a hazy IPA, but has different characteristics. All about it, man. Do it. And one of them maybe could be a West Coast IPA. Switch it up. Anyway, yeah. So Chris really likes the PPE. That's awesome, Chris, man. Glad that you liked it. Glad that we were able to. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. This is fun.
Yeah, I miss these West Coast inspired beers for sure.
Yeah, they're great, and they really were the start of everything, right? I mean, they're kind of just the epitome of American craft beer, my opinion. But that's why I like Sierra Nevada so much, is because that's what they do. They do really good West Coast IPAs. Yeah. And they're well known for that. But they still make them approachable. They still make them, easy to access. They're kind of like.
We're gonna get more PPE.
All right, bring some Cheez-Its too. They're kind of like. Who's that brewery? Sam Adams, in a way, I feel like, because Sam Adams has kind of fallen off a little bit of a cliff recently, though, for me anyway. But they make approachable beers that are accessible to the mass public, and that's what you got. And they're good, generally. Those mixed packs, though, I don't know. We haven't had great luck with those lately.
No, they're terrible.
But I wasn't gonna go that far, but they're not great.
I don't know.
They're okay.
I don't know if Sam Adams is doing anything for the COVID crisis.
I don't think they are.
None of these big breweries that have tons of money they can just toss are actually doing anything, which is sad.
I don't know why Boston Beer Company should be doing oodles of things for relief efforts. I don't know why
Yeah, they
they're
have
not
tons of
doing.
money.
I don't know why these bigger ones aren't. They have so much freaking capital outlay. And then Waters End is sitting over here, a smaller brewery, and they're just, you know, they're kicking it out of the park. They're just this is amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's up, Super? I always get your name
Super sure.
tongue twisted. Super Sherbert Beer Reviews. Bam! And anything of interest. Greetings, Eastern Canada. Eastern, so Toronto-ish.
Yeah.
Kind of
Toronto, Montreal.
Not Saskatchewan.
No.
And like the weird part of Canada. Those people, I feel like if you guys ever played like the video game Far Cry 5, they're in like this I don't want to say hickish, but like it kind of is like this like Midwest kind of area, like the Pacific Northwest, and everybody's like got a gun rack and like, you know, wearing flannel and like dirty jeans and stuff. And it's like I feel like Saskatchewan is like those people. They're just like really like out there, sort of like crazy people, a little bit crazy. But Toronto, I've been to Toronto. I've been to Great Falls. The Falls.
Niagara Falls.
The Falls. The Falls. And yeah, the people there are just like mostly tourists though. but the Canadian people are super nice.
Yeah.
Definitely had some Canadian beer recently. We've done a couple of reviews of Parallel 49, which amazing brewery. We need to find more of their stuff because we did 2 beers. We did a wheat beer and we did a hazy IPA called Trash Panda. They're both awesome.
I wonder, here's a question. I wonder, does Canada have the same independent, like something similar to the Independent Brewers Association label that they can
I don't know.
On their...
We do have Paradigm speakers over here, though, if you can see those. So that's from Canada, and I love Paradigm speakers, man. Good, like, they're well-funded, but still.
Yeah.
Epic sounding speakers for the price. So good. A couple SE 800s over there, or whatever they're called. Something 800. Anyway, yes, Maritime Province of PEI, yes, Hicks. I guess you look at them the same way as we, over on the East Coast, look at, like, Montana or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't see them as Hicks. I just see them as, like...
Nebraska.
Yeah, just like they're just out there, you know?
More like the Dakotas.
I like guns.
Who lives in
Don't get me
North
wrong.
or South Dakota?
Don't get me wrong. And I appreciate farmers. But like some of those people, I'm just saying some. It's like Trump supporters, right? You got some that are like kind of level-headed and they're like, I just voted for the guy because I'm a Republican and like he's the guy that they, you know, presented and like they're fine people. But some of those people are fucking lunatics. They're crazy. They just take it to a different level. Damn good oysters, though. Yeah, man. No, the seafood up there is awesome. So my family has been to Maine, and like apparently at that time, like 1994, 96-ish, somewhere in that range, they were shipping seafood from those bays in Canada,
to Maine?
like off the coast of Canada to Maine.
Oh.
I don't know if there was a shortage of lobster or something like that. I forget. But my mom was saying something about that the other week, and like we were reminiscing about that, and something was said about that. But either way, so apparently I've had some of that stuff, and it was good.
Yeah, Maine has some pretty good seafood. I have been to Canada too. Montreal for me was memorable. Why?
I've never
Just
been
because everybody was speaking French.
Ooh.
And even though I was not in France,
They are very good.
I was able to somewhat understand what everyone was talking about because I studied French for like 8 years. But not anymore.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen this on our past live streams, we have to give a big shout out to Cheez-Its. Extra cheesy, not sponsored, but damn.
The
These extra
Cheez-Its
cheesy
and
ones.
beer.
There's like the perfect
Best
combination. You can't go wrong with that. If a brewery wanted to do like a crazy food pairing thing, they could just get tiny packets of Cheez-Its instead of chips, and it would almost be better because it's really good at soaking up alcohol, and they're super cheesy, and they go with like piney hops really good. Really well
You know, there's one
Well
brewery
balanced.
in Virginia that does the snack bar thing,
Yes.
where you pay a set price and you get this little like plastic baggie, and then you choose like the different snacks. It's like the trail mix bar at the supermarket,
Yeah.
essentially. But I've never seen Cheez-It in the snack bins.
They have M&Ms. They have gummy worms.
Yeah.
They have peanuts.
Pretzel sticks.
Pretzels. They have chocolate stuff. But no freaking
No
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its,
We had Cheez-Its at
ever.
our friggin' wedding because we love Cheez-Its so much.
That's right.
We had
that
a
was
whole-
one of the snack
We had a whole
sections.
snack bar to include peanut M&Ms, Cheez-Its, a couple types of cheeses, I think. We had
We have popcorn too.
popcorn. We had like 2 different types of popcorn. We had like Himalayan salt and like butter. And then we had some random stuff too, like
We had another candy. Oh, we had Reese's.
Reese's Pieces
Pieces, not peanut butter cups.
because they would have melted.
Yeah. All the snacks
yeah.
that we normally like to eat.
All these personal like loves of ours.
Yes,
yeah, and gummy bears. You're
bears.
right. Chris was there. Chris knows. Yeah. Yes, it is Strange Ways. Yep. Good to
And
see
they're
you.
for some reason they're the only brewery that does it. I don't know why no other brewery does, because it's a great idea. Like,
I don't
of
know,
course
man.
you want to snack on
Waters
food.
End.
Yeah.
Waters End. Take note. Cheez-Its, dude. Gotta get those Cheez-Its.
Do a Cheez-It bar. Different variations of Cheez-Its.
That would keep us around for another beer for sure.
We just like
Cheez-It bar would be just so money. It would cost nothing. Just buy them in bulk from wherever.
Yeah, because they're pretty expensive. Like, I know it's like something like
What,
$5
Cheez-Its?
or no, like the price at Strange Ways. It's like $5 or
Oh, yeah.
$6 or something like that. And
You only get this little plate, like, just sectioned off into little, like,
oh yeah,
individual set. I remember your dad doing this.
to give
And,
you like a 3-tier plate.
Yeah.
You could only do 3 different types, and that was it.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid,
Yeah.
and we blew through that because we had, like, well, we always have, like, so many people.
There were like 6 people.
6
so
or
that
7
one-
people at a time, just like crushing peanuts, just like bah. But yeah, Ryan says consider it noted. Yeah, just keep it in the back of your mind. You don't have to implement, but like yeah, could be test it out. It might work good, might not. I don't know. It would be a cheap test though.
Yeah.
So we want to know your guys' thoughts if you've been sticking around since the beginning and you've caught the news. Let us know what you think of the news.
Wow, poutine bar, that would be insane.
Oh shit.
I'd be all up in that poutine bar.
Yeah, if you did cheese,
Wow.
some
Nacho.
so some breweries do like I can't say the word. You say the word. The cheese and meat pairing. I can't say it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Charcuterie.
That's it. So cheese and meat platter.
Yeah.
1, they're always super expensive. 2, I don't know what kind of conditions those are being kept in, honestly. I mean, who knows, right?
It's questionable.
It is kind of. I mean, they got
It's
like
like,
fancy sounding meats, and it's like,
Unless it's a restaurant. Like, there's some
if it's a
restaurants,
restaurant, then I know they have fridges dedicated to like food, right?
Yeah.
But like at a brewery, it's kind of like I don't know what's going on there. But either way, it's not like a thing that I would seek out and buy as an item. I would much if I'm in a bar, I'm gonna be wanting bar food. I'm gonna be wanting a freaking chili dog. That's another thing that would be amazing. Is chili dog truck or something like that. Oh shit.
There was one brewery that no longer is in existence that used to do hot dogs, and that
Dude.
was so questionable. Like, I don't.
But
I
it
didn't
make
think
it
he had like a license to even do that stuff.
but make it not questionable. Make it amazing. Like, okay, so Triple Crossing has the pizza thing where they make the pizza in the oven.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I always want to go to that particular location in Richmond because of the pizza. I love that shit. And they sort of screwed us last time we went to the other location where they had like grilled cheese, and they were like, "Oh, we're out of cheese." And it's like, "What the fuck? Why would you be out of cheese when you make grilled cheese?
That's the only thing you make.
How the hell is that even a thing?" Yeah, it's the only thing they have even offered, and it's like bags of chips or this awesome grilled cheese that you can't actually buy. Sorry.
So you were just stuck with the
It's
bag
like,
of chips. Like,
Well, they got
yeah.
cheese over there at Fulton, so I'm gonna go over there and get the grilled
the
get a
pizza.
pizza.
And they have ice cream made with
Killer
beer.
ice cream too.
Ice
Those
cream
ice cream bars
sandwiches,
are so
yeah.
good.
with beer. So good.
So good. What is a donair plate, Sherpa?
What is that? I don't know.
I don't know. Do we need to Google that?
Stone did a chili dog once. Really?
Yo, that would be amazing. Oh, I would be into that. That pizza rocked. Yeah, they do. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. On release day. Yeah, we went on Can Jam and we got a pizza, I think. Or did we get a pizza? Yeah, we did.
Was it
We
Can
went to
Jam?
Can Jam with your mom and your dad and,
Oh, yeah.
and your brother.
We went to the last, not this year's, but last year's Can Jam.
Yes, we went to the, the 2018 one, I think.
2019, right?
19? Was it 19?
Yeah.
We've been to 2. And the
Yeah.
last one that we went to was actually way better than the first one. The first one sucked because it was tough.
We were just waiting in line forever.
Yeah, it was just tough to get in even, and then, but everybody voiced concerns about that though on their Facebook page. Like everybody was like blowing it up, like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then they sort of like thought about their process, and it was way better the second year that we went.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if they do it this year, if that's a thing, then it'll be better than that even. But we had like an awesome Three Floyds bubblegum, wheat beer, which is good.
I had a pina colada IPA from WeldWerks. I had some
Yeah, that was
threes and
that was good.
something that's like an upstate New York that starts with an I, and it has like weird diagrams of the chemistry of like cellular structures.
Oh, I remember that. I took a picture of
Yeah.
that one. What was that?
Starts with an I. It's like inter something. I can't remember.
It wasn't Interborough. It was something.
It's either upstate New York or it's somewhere in Pennsylvania. But
That's a kind of a.
well, they touch.
It was either like California or Vermont, whatever.
Because I'm either thinking Pittsburgh or upstate New York because they're kind of in that same area.
Yeah, I would love to get a hold of some Pittsburgh beer. I wonder if there's any like killer craft breweries in Pittsburgh.
Fancy no.
Well, besides them,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's hard impossible to get them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten it like once, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, Dancing Nem is pretty.
But to get a variety, I'm saying, like to get it like a bunch of them at one time, like the Veil, you could just order like, I want these 5 styles. Okay, ship it. Fine. Out in, we've got a guy on our Untapped that actually does follow the channel. We've been talking to him quite frequently about getting some more West Coast stuff. So you should be seeing some pretty cool stuff coming out of that place pretty soon. I really want to get my hands on Pizza Port because over there it seems like it's super popular. Pizza Port is like I guess a restaurant that exists
beer?
only in that does their own beer that exists only in California. I don't know what the story is over there. But everybody on my Untapped feed that lives or is around California area has been to a Pizza Port and checked something in.
Really?
So I'm like, I have to figure out what it's like a popular beer. If you look on Untapped, it's like a popular destination.
Pizza Port.
Pizza Port. I don't know. I know, right? Okay,
Okay.
Ryan, that's excellent.
Very good.
Interesting,
Okay.
huh?
Interesting. Yeah.
Because Star Hill makes a Kvik. I heard it pronounced correctly the other day, but I can't remember how it was done. Kvike? No, it was like Kvik. No, you know what it was? It was Tyler from Vazen.
Oh.
We were on that chat with a Hops and Shine.
Yeah.
Which we definitely quick. Is it quick?
Queek. That's how you pronounce it. Queek. Queeky.
Kvik.
Queek.
Kvik, because it's the V is a.
Okay.
It's like a weird Norwegian thing. Okay. Kvik. Yeah, it's a weird style. I'm not sure I'm super into it. Star Hill does a Kvik, or did a
I've
Kvik.
never had it.
It was okay. Star Hill again is another one of those safe breweries. Dude, Vazen knows everything sour better than everybody in this area. They know anything fruited.
Kawaika.
Kawaika.
Kawaika. Is
Kawaika.
that how you pronounce it?
Dude, Ryan, we're like half
This is
lit,
like-
and you're trying to like. He's like testing us.
Like, this is how you pronounce.
We made fun of his not having Cheez-Its, and now he's just like, here, try to pronounce this shit while you're half drunk. Donairs are originally Greek Lebanese style food. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is it like a platter or something? We're gonna have to Google that one. Donairs. Hold on. Donair. What is Donair? Oh. Oh, it's like a wrap. Oh, it's like a euro.
It's like a gyro.
A euro.
Gyro.
That's actually how you
Okay.
pronounce that, not gyro.
No, it's a gyro.
It's euro. Okay, cool.
What was it? Yesterday we were trying to pronounce Japanese. How to correctly
Oh man, we did a
pronounce
review of this crazy Japanese beer,
beers.
and it was like
that's-
I can't even remember what it was. It was hilarious.
it was a
Konichi.
Koni Hikari.
No, it was
Kori Hikari.
Kori Hikari. Yeah.
It's premium
Something like
rice
that.
in Japan.
It's a rice. It's a rice lager.
Best rice.
Best rice ever. Like I'm sure it's the best rice in the world or something like that, probably. But it's like a rice lager that can only be made in the specific region of a specific country of a specific. It's like a very thin, tiny
It's like
rice.
short grain, or it's medium grain rice, but it's super premium, and it's like
They need a
grown-
special machine to actually husk
grown
it.
under special conditions in a special region in Japan, in the Niigata area
Yep.
of Japan.
Niigata. Yeah,
That's
it should-
difficult to pronounce.
That was a
those
hard. We
names.
went, man. Like the outtakes from that one are probably going to be epic because like it just took forever to get into that beer because you had to keep reading it. What the hell is this? What are we even doing? Okay. So good times. We also need stuff like that. Rice lagers. Breweries should be doing rice
Yeah.
lagers all the time. They're amazing. I don't even care if it's as high end premium as that one is.
That one was good.
That one was ultra good. It had like it was so clean at the end. There was no, that sort of like appley taste that you get with lagers. I don't really. I hate that. I really don't like it. I'll be straight honest. It's one of the things that puts me off most lagers. So when a lager is done really cleanly and doesn't have a lot of that apple sort of taste to
It's
it,
a plus.
it's a big plus for me, and that's just how it is. But a lot of American lagers have that sort of appley kind of taste to it that I just don't like it. It reminds me of like so much of acetaldehyde. It really just like when you homebrew, like if you've ever messed up a batch, you know what I'm talking about.
Apple and buttered popcorn.
It's bad. It's just bad. It's bad. But in the new house, we'll be able to brew some sick beer.
Oh. We still haven't been to Red Dragon.
Oh, Ryan, we also need. Yeah, we have not been to Red
I don't
Dragon.
know why.
yet.
We've been to Fredericksburg a million times,
I don't
and for
know.
some reason we keep forgetting Red Dragon exists.
Yeah.
Even though I've heard their sours and their gozes are amazing.
Now about that apple taste, like I keep saying in every review of lagers that we do, like it's a normal thing to have a little bit of in a lager. It's a byproduct of the fermentation, and it should be there. I guess technically, but I just don't. I just don't like it. That's just me, and I'm allowed an opinion, right? That's what's great about beer is that you're allowed to have opinions about it.
I think you're sensitive though to that particular taste.
I am
So you
that
pick
and
it out.
coconut. I fucking hate coconut. I cannot.
I love coconut.
I can't do it. She loves it. Loves it.
I love coconut. Coconut anything.
I can't do coconut anything. I used to be able to, but now I don't know what happened to my brain. It got rewired in my 20s at some point, and like these days I'm just like, nah. Yeah, you should. We would love to do a spot with Red Dragon. Why not?
I went there once back.
Coconut
like,
beer is not cool. I'm saying, dude. Actually, though.
Well,
Even
as
okay,
an adjunct.
I'll tell you a story. So, we ordered, what was that beer that we had yesterday?
The Earth Days.
Huh? Yeah, the Earth Days. So, I don't know what I was expecting with that one. I thought it was going to be like really. So with coconut, there's this like, what it reminds me of is a banana boat body
The sunscreen.
tanning sunscreen, the lotion.
There's no coconut and
It smells to me like, that's why I don't like pina colada, that's why I don't like coconut.
yeah.
That's the reason. I think I'm drinking it. It's disgusting to me. Mentally, there's a link there. If that can't be broken, I can't do coconut. But anyway, that beer is heavily coconutty, but it's like so natural that it kind of like doesn't. It's not that bad.
I don't know. I thought it was. I mean, it
It's
tasted
not that
like
bad.
a banana colada to me.
It does. It tastes like like some
Like a
sort of
banana
mixed
colada.
smoothie drink.
Yeah.
It really does. I'll drink them. Will I enjoy them 100%? No, but I'm like 60, 70%. You know, it's okay.
I think they work too in imperial stouts when you get like a nice like pastry stout, like a sweet stout.
I guess.
And you add some coconut and you add some almond and some chocolate notes.
Some what?
You get
Some almond?
almond notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like an almond joy
An
beer.
almond joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like almond joys. That's the weird part. Is like I can do almond candy. I mean, coconut candy, like almond joys and the one without
Okay, that's weird.
the
Mounds.
one without the Mounds one.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I just can't get down with a lot that has coconut in it. I don't know why. I don't know. I've had cake before. What was it that I just ate it and I was like, oh no, they were Trader Joe's cookies. They were chocolate chip freaking cookies, and they put a little bit of coconut shaving in there,
Or
and
extract,
I
yeah.
picked it out almost instantly. And you were like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "There's coconut in this shit."
I tasted
Sure
it.
enough, you look at the ingredients and like
There's coconut.
14 down on the list is coconut, and I'm like, I told you, I knew there was something up with that. It's the same with that apple taste. I can pick it out at anything. Like if you want an acetaldehyde, tester, I'm the guy for the job. I can find that shit.
Gotta be the grossest job.
It'll be the worst
Ugh.
job in history. Let me tell you.
Or
I don't know.
butter
There's an
popcorn.
off flavor that's just straight meat.
There,
That would be worst. I
I
think
think we've had beers that are just straight meat before.
we've had beers that are cheese in our review.
We've had cheese
um,
beers. We've had
At
buttered popcorn
it
beers.
was at Back Bay that we had the Styrian hop beer, the red ale, and we were like, I mean, at the time we weren't as
It was like a sharp cheddar kind of.
yeah, we weren't as like well versed in off flavors, but like we were like, oh, we just assumed that the brewery would be producing a beer that they had envisioned, right? But I think now that was a super off flavor of sharp cheddar cheese.
Old hops.
Old hops, man. And they told us that like a hop salesman came door to door basically with a suitcase full of hops and kind of was like, hey, we got these weird Styrian hops. You should try them. And they
Yeah.
bought them and they used them. And who knows where those came from, right? So, I don't know. I got to rewatch that review. That was that was a terrible beer. But we have another Back Bay beer that's excellent.
Yeah.
And Dominion has been getting a ton of Back Bay beers in recently, and I don't know. I'm willing to try them
I
again.
think they've
'cause
improved.
I think they've gotten way better. They opened up this huge like facility,
The farmhouse.
the farmhouse. And it's like massive like farmland kind of thing with a bar inside, a couple bars maybe, and it looks impressive. But I thought to myself anyway, in my brain, I was like, oh, they took the Two Silos route where they like kind of focused on the property rather than the environment rather than the beer itself. But I think they did both.
Well, we still haven't gone to the farmhouse yet, so we don't know what it looks like.
Not yet.
At the time that we went to Back Bay, they were still, I think they had just signed off on the
They had
lease.
just opened.
Yeah.
They were really new.
They were
And I'm
still-
sure some of those beers we had were like home brews that like
Yeah.
didn't quite make it into the main system yet. Probably. So I'll give them that. It's fine. Like we all have growing pains. That's okay. But yeah, cheesy beer, not cool, man. Like that was weird. That was weird. But at the time, it didn't taste horrible.
It wasn't off-putting necessarily,
It was
especially
like-
if you don't know what you're tasting.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
you
that's
could drink
different.
it and not even realize it.
And we
until
did.
You
I drank a
realize
ton of
that's
that shit.
an off flavor, and you're like, oh.
I drank a whole lot of that beer. I finished it. I was like, give me more of that. Not knowing that it was like
An off
skanky
flavor,
old
yeah.
hops probably, but it's okay. It's all right. But if I bought that for like $20, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got an Orange Crush coming up. We'll review that one from Back Bay. Definitely deserves a place on the... Just some things I have to say about it. But overall, you'll see. It's pretty good.
Cheese-It infused beer, that is, no.
Cheez-Its infused beer. Well,
No.
I don't know, man.
No way.
It smells like it could work.
No way.
I mean, we're eating them and drinking beer, so what's the difference, right? If you just take some of this powder and kind of like...
Oh my god, no.
do you want to
so gross.
break it and like put it in there? How about that?
No. Why'd you do that?
Because...
Ew.
It's not terrible. Yeah. It's okay.
There's certain things you should just be eating versus drinking.
I don't know. I feel the same way about coconut though. So, to each their own.
Like an orange pulp.
Be like, you see like floaties
man.
of Cheez-Its hanging out in there with like salt. You'd have to like really.
The last batch of orange pulp I
Force
had
that
from
down.
RAR was a bit off-putting.
Oh, Chris wants us to get orange pulp for him if we ever go down there.
Okay.
By the way, I was trying to tell her that earlier, Chris, but I forgot what the beer was. Sorry, but yeah, it's the pulp. Why did you think it was off-putting?
It was starting to go bad, and I don't know why, because it wasn't necessarily like.
Was it fresh?
It was fresh, so I don't know why it was starting to go bad.
Strange.
So I don't know.
I do not know. Hopefully, though, if they if they can it, and I mean now breweries are just canning it and shipping it pretty instantly.
Yeah.
So, also Chris said that Baby Falcon from Triple Crossing is coming back, and I am so ready for that beer to come back. Oh my god, another haze bomb, but
it's a session beer.
But man,
it's like under 5%, but it's
it was
really
good. It was good. It's just good. So hopefully that's a thing. We have this interesting stone beer that we picked up the other day. We have the
Buena Vesa.
What?
That's what it's called, right? Buena
I don't know.
Vesa?
Let me go check.
It's like a salt and lime lager.
Yeah, it's a salt and lime lager. Let's see.
I still haven't had it, but apparently it's really good.
I have had it. I drank one this morning at 10 o'clock. Don't judge me. And yeah, it looks like this. It's a salt and lime lager. And it's 4.7%. It's interesting. We'll go over this one for sure. But it's got this cool ass Day of the Dead sort of mask going on, and the font is like real like Mexican Day of the Dead style. It's cool looking. I like it. It's got the stone head right on his forehead, like a third eye, like he knows something. He's like, stone beer.
It looks like a beer you would pair with like
tacos, man.
fish tacos.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that.
Totally tacos.
Fresh, grilled fish or crispy fish tacos.
Yep. It definitely.
A delicate kind of a beer.
It's an interesting beer. We'll go over all the details of that one in our review soon this week. Let's do that.
All right.
And we've also got coming up.
There's some Maryland breweries that
we've got so much backlog. That's the
Yeah.
problem, guys, is that we have like 12 to 15 beers that are backlogged right now that we've shot that just haven't made it out yet. And there's just a lot. We got some Drecker, a Drecker breakfast stout type of ordeal. Or is it an IPA? I think it's an IPA.
It's like a honey, it's like a triple IPA. It's a double IPA with triple dry hopped and loads of honey.
And loads of other adjuncts too.
Yeah.
It's like really bizarre. We've got a Fremont one.
We have a few local breweries.
A Freem, Vienna Lager. A few local ones, yeah. I really want to focus more on like local stuff and lighter offerings though, going forward into the summer months, because I mean that's what people are going to be wanting to see, is like, you know, definitely more summer, springtime accessible beers. We do have a couple hazy IPAs coming up. There's
we just shot a wheat ale by a local brewery in Maryland.
Oh yeah, Idiom.
Hysteria.
Yeah.
Up in like Columbia, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's coming up too.
And then we have a double IPA by Idiom.
We haven't done that one yet, though.
No. And some Diamondback.
We did. We actually took a tally of how many beers we have in the house right now, and it's something like 130. And then plus, and that's just different beers.
Different beers.
Then on top of the 130 though, there's multiples because, you know, sometimes we'll buy like 6-packs or 12 packs of each. So then that just grows that number exponentially. So now I think we have 3 beer fridges, one there, and one there. We must be at like 300 beers, total beers. There's so many beers.
Yeah,
there's so many.
So many beers.
it's absurd. We're trying to give stuff away. So I feel like there's maybe going to be another giveaway coming up soon. If we can hit 300 subscribers by the end of, let's see.
May.
By the end of May, if we can do 300 subscribers, we're at what, 265? If we can do 300, we'll do a massive giveaway. We'll try to do. I want to try to do some more glassware. Problem is glassware is pricey. It's not easy to get and give away.
No.
To ship it is just tough, you know, a little bit. Plus, if you're shooting out like a 6-pack of beer with it, it's like this fragile thing. It's a scary ordeal. Like it's a fragile thing in a not so fragile package. It's not supposed to be shipped legally, so it's kind of like this gray area. I don't know. But yeah, we can do the beer shipping thing. We can even do beer trades if anybody wants to do that. That's out on the West Coast or in the middle of the country. I'd love to do some stuff from Illinois, Chicago area. I'd like to do some stuff from Texas, Arizona. There's breweries there that I've never heard of that my buddy that drives a truck keeps sending me, and I'm like, what is this stuff? I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
So I really want to dive into that. A lot of this East Coast stuff, like the Toomey's Corner is coming up. What is that? I can't even remember what beer that is. Is that Other Half?
Other Half.
So Other Half, it's all well and good, but it's more of the same hazy IPA type of thing, and I just kind of want to get a little further away from that for the moment, anyway. We've still got some Great Notion hanging out there.
We have some Great Notion. I don't know if we'll get to review the Great Notion beer, but
I think we will.
We have plenty of KCBC. Those are coming up. We have a whole 5 or 6 different KCBC
and
beers.
what's scary is that we were gonna go to New York and pick up like an entire suitcase of beer and haul that back, but and that would have shot that total number over like 150 baseline.
Yeah.
And then a 6-pack of each, we'd be over 350 at that point.
Crazy.
That's insane. We have
we have
too much
inventory.
Beer.
We have essentially a little mini beer shop.
So you know the Black Dog Beer Shop? I don't know. They might be jealous of us right now. Like it's
we have some crazy inventory.
It's madness. I don't know what the hell's happening with it. But we have to, right? I mean,
I think the only style
we
of
could
beer
justify it.
We don't have right now is somewhat like we don't have any Belgians and we don't have any Belgian doubles.
Do we have any stouts?
We have plenty of stouts and imperial stouts. We even have gozas and we have sours. But we don't have any of the European stuff.
Solemn oath. Black Dog, Vienna. Ryan.
By that Inca Social restaurant, the Peruvian restaurant, right?
They do some collabs with Inca Social as well.
Right at the Dunlorine metro station.
They've been liking a bunch of our stuff, and we've been thinking about reaching out to them and kind of being like, hey, I feel like Brew Review should go to some of these bottle shops. We're doing something soon with with Hops and Shine, and we're gonna do like a panel type interview thing. This is what so just to give everybody some clarification, whoever's watching, 6 people are gonna figure this out. But the way Brew Review is going, it used to be us 2 would show up at a brewery and get a flight and do a review of just us talking about the beer, right? What we thought. However, now, what I want to start doing is including a brewer or a business owner or some representative that's knowledgeable about whatever's presented to us in on the action, right? So that they can send their message out there and just basically, be a more direct source to their consumer base, right? It's a better marketing strategy overall. It doesn't focus so much on us particularly, we're including the community at that point, right? So that's, I think, what Brew Review is going to become. We're still going to do can reviews. That's still a baseline part of our thing. Don't worry. But the actual Brew Review section, not can reviews, but brew reviews, the big budget stuff is going to be panel interviews. It's going to be location-based shooting. It's going to be big budget kind of production type stuff like you've seen in the past, you know, at Solace or whatever. So yeah, that's the vision anyway for what's going forward. But yeah, Black Dog, that might be on our repertoire for the future. It's just tough because it's kind of like coronavirus is fucking everything up for everybody. So
once that's all over, or once it's mostly over, I guess we can.
Well, we've also got the brewery up in Maryland that's interested. What were they going? I was talking about them the other night. Denizens. So Denizens is actually on our palate as well. So we've got a lot going on, a lot coming up. As soon as things start lifting, then we'll figure all this out. And we definitely want to go back to Waters End, and do basically the same thing.
But
it's
interview
cool.
like that.
Yeah. So we'd interview
guys,
Josh or Ryan or whoever's available at the time or whatever, and get some further insight into the beers, into the creation, into the brand, into all these things that the customers would be interested in knowing about, if they can't just go up to Josh and talk to him. You know what I mean? It's a way to communicate to your audience. It's marketing, and this is what I was saying at the very beginning during the news segment. Is like marketing is going to become stupid important for breweries coming out of COVID-19.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be, hire somebody to do this, man, because marketing it's not, look at some of these breweries. They have an employee that's just posting cell phone pictures or whatever on their Facebook page.
Yeah. On their free time.
On their free time kind of thing. It's just like very haphazard, no real game plan of like a targeted advertising campaign or no big projects or nothing like super creative. It's just like a picture of some beer. Okay, cool. Or a picture of, how they take the can and they open it and they put it on the thing.
On there.
Yeah, it's really creative. I've never seen that before. Come on.
It's so
get creative. Get out of that old school mentality and pump it up a notch. Get some content out there and interact with your audience in a very organic way. I think that's the way you gotta do it.
So Josh says they're game. So
Dude,
that's awesome. Yeah.
I love you guys.
These cell counts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Brew Review is that we don't want to get too dorky with it because there are plenty of channels out there that do really nerdy beer review shit, and that's not us. We want to do a very high level sort of overview so that people that don't know that much about beer, which let's be honest is 95% of all people, they know they like craft beer, they know they don't like IPAs, but they know they also like small business. Those are the people that are buying your beer. You know what I mean? How many beer nerds exist that are like, well, okay, Josh, how many billions of yeast cells did you use in this beer? Because I think the flocculation of the Brettanomyces.
It's like the scientist from The Simpsons.
Yeah, there's not that many of those people out there, and those people that are out there are seeking these beers that are top tier, topping Goliath, these super unattainable fucking beers are the one we had at Snallygaster.
The monkish stuff?
No, the Fontaine or the...
No, we had the Cantillon.
Cantillon, yeah. They're seeking stuff like that out, and it's
oh, yeah.
They don't care about their local breweries in that way kind of thing, So what we try to do is just bring some further clarity to people and, hey, these are viable options. Please check these guys out kind of thing. So that's what we do. That's our thing. No Sheldons. Yeah, I mean, the Sharky's level of yeast is so good. But it's true, man. Marketing is hyper important, and a lot of breweries, it just goes under the radar. And the numbers don't lie, man. If you market correctly as a brewery, your sell-through is 20% more at least. Mm-hmm. If you do it right. Know your audience. That's the first. That's my freebie. You don't have to pay for that. Know your audience. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Who's your demographic? Yeah, for
Who
sure.
is your demographic? So, and that's what we feel like some breweries have lost along the way. They
Or some
focused.
breweries just never even care that
Well,
much.
yeah. So some breweries never cared until something tragic happens, and then that's when they're like, "Oh, we need to pay attention to this." But then it's a struggle to get back to where they should have been, all along, and it's just lost revenue at that point. And like we said before, it's a business. So at the end of the day, you need to make money. So Hardywood as an example with bourbon. Yeah. So me and Chris were talking about this morning when he dropped beer off to me. Hardywood is losing its way. Chris claims, where the bourbon barrel stout, he says they're focusing too much on the adjunct side of things and how that tastes rather than the base beer.
Yeah.
And instead of integrating the vanilla flavor into that beer, they're focusing more on the flavor of the vanilla, right? Not so much how it'll interact with the base beer. Like when you have so let's just take
Talking about like the
PPE,
GBS,
PPE
like the
for example.
gingerbread
Let's
bourbon
just take PPE for example because it's open. So like we know what this beer tastes like now. We're familiar with it to a point. If they wanted to add like vanilla to this beer, you would try to integrate the vanilla into this beer as best you could while still maintaining the presence of this beer's character, right? You wouldn't want to mess with this that hard. But what happens... I read it. What happens with the bourbon barrel stuff is that they've come out with all these variants, like all these adjuncts. Like they've got the raspberry bourbon thing. They've got the vanilla one. They've got
fluffy
the
pancakes.
They've got the
Christmas
morning is actually great.
Kentucky Christmas morning.
Yeah.
The coconut Christmas morning.
Double bourbon barrel aged. There's so many of them.
There's so many
and they're stretching themselves too thin, where instead they should be focusing on more making sure that those flavors integrate better with the base beer itself, right? So that's kind of that's his opinion. I'm not going to say it publicly because I don't really know. I haven't had enough to say one way or the other.
I have her. I used to be part of their family tree, and so I've followed them since they first came out with like GBS, and I loved it back in the day. But that was years ago, and I have heard that like I've never done a side-by-side comparison because I end up drinking the beer. Like, you're supposed to keep it,
Drink
I
it
guess,
too
for
fast.
like a year and then do a side-by-side comparison, but I just end up drinking it before. But
I guess you're supposed to age it, but
people that are more nerdier than me are like, apparently they've noticed a difference in the base beer itself.
Yeah.
And it's definitely changed.
Right,
so.
right. And I think that's, for a lot of breweries, some local specifically that, their beers have changed over time. And it could be because they have new brewers. It could be because they have, they're tweaking their recipes a little bit. But, sometimes that is what puts customers off. It's not so much the marketing behind it. It's the fact that the beers are changing because they're getting bored with the recipe perhaps. Mm-hmm. Or they think the customer is getting bored with the recipe for some reason. Instead of that, why don't you just take a poll? Hey, would you guys like to see Mosaic added to this beer? Boom! Like, here's what it tastes like. Come pick it up. We're going to brew a batch with Mosaic, see what you think, take some market research of it, and then do it that way. Like, it's a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, that could be super beneficial to your long game, right? It's these things that, like, separate a truly exceptional strategy rather than just, like, coasting off your laurels and being like, well, we've had these local loyal customers for years and they'll always come back. Okay, what if they die? What if they stop coming back? What if a new brewery opens up down the street that they go to and they like that better? There's a ton of reasons why they might not just come back. So you got to keep people interested, got to keep brewing new stuff. A lot of breweries know this. Waters End knows this. They're not stupid. They make great beer and that's a saving grace of a lot of breweries these days is they're making lots of different types of beer to fill lots of different needs. And it's good. The Animal House part rocks, man. Yeah.
Should we...
So with that, we've been on here for about an hour and 40 minutes, and we have crushed a couple of these PPEs. Very good beer. Like I said,
I also love the 12 ounce can. You know, everything
Dude,
now is 16 ounce, and
we-
you're just like committed to that.
I was
16
bitching about
ounce
this the other day, actually, and like, yeah.
beer. But I like the 12 ounce.
I like 12 ounces better. 16 ounces and above are too, you got to commit to it. It's one of those things where, and we talked about this in the last one, where the can was so fat that like, oh, and by the way, yes, a Foster's can is exactly 24 and a half ounces. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for giving us that Foster's. We will not be putting that on the channel, but I will drink it. But we did compare it, and it's the same thing. But yeah, 12-ounce cans are just more easily manageable. I can fit this in a backpack and go hiking and pound one on the trail and leave. I can take it to the beach.
Yeah.
When you have these big fat, 32-ounce crowlers or like 64-ounce growlers or whatever,
or 16-ounce cans, yeah.
once you open it, you're in it, man. And if it's a high ABV beer in the summertime, that's it, man. You got to find time and clear your schedule for that beer. So for me, anyway, for like all these dads out there, I think we all think the same. For dads all over the world, I'm gonna put a PSA out there to all breweries. Like, please continue to do the 12-ounce can because it's a manageable size. It's good. I like it.
I do like that Waters End came out with a 24 and a half.
I do like that
because
it's way better.
That's a very one person could crush it, or you could split it with two people and you'd have less than 60.
So that's actually like the perfect size. A crowler. If you're gonna do a crowler, I think that's a good size. Yeah. I think a 16 ounce is a little on the light side.
32
and 32 is too much.
Yeah.
So 24 and a half is kind of like this good middle ground. I don't know if it's more expensive to do 24 and a half rather than 32 though. But I mean, I think that's a good size
it's a good size.
Yeah, for two people, especially for us two, we can crack one of those and have basically 2 1/4, 2.5 beers basically to divvy out between ourselves, and that's great. But yeah, you can try to build around what you think the next beer hype is, or what you can build around what the customer's looking for. Yeah, I agree, man. And it's kind of a case by case thing. I think some breweries definitely try to build around that expected hype that they'll get, but I don't know if that's really the way to do it. I mean, I think it's really a balancing act. I think you have to kind of tread the water gently on the hype train, because as we all know, the sour hype kind of died out. The haze hype kind of, I mean, they're definitely not as aggressive as they used to be. Like, you used to have people for hazy IPAs lined up around the block at every brewery that had the hazy IPA. Now they're everywhere, right? There's still there's still a need for it, but it's not like, oh my God, we need to get there before they even open for this hazy IPA. You know it's going to be there, right? I think the sour thing introduced a lot of people to sours. I think it was cool to do, for sure. But they're still around, and they're always going to be around. It's not like they're going to go anywhere. It's just like the people's, like with this West Coast thing, we've been drinking so many hazy IPAs lately, and then we have one of these, and we're like, yeah, that hits the spot. It's different.
Yeah.
So they're going to gravitate away from these hyped beers, and towards other stuff. It's not like they're not going to buy it.
Well, I also think that
we have hundreds of hazy IPAs in the fridge, but we're still going to seek these out when we can find them,
I think now breweries have followed that hype train, or they followed the trend train. And so now a lot more of them are doing all the different styles that were once only exclusive to certain breweries. So I think that's why maybe, there isn't much of a craze for sours, or, I mean, I don't really know about sours, but like hazy IPAs are more, like, a lot of more breweries now are making them, so they're not as like hyped as they used to be, like, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane.
That was crazy.
6 years ago, that stuff was crazy.
And yeah, I mean, like, we'll have to see. I think, definitely going forward, we're all pretty much aware that like Pilsners and Czech lagers and maybe hopefully rice lagers, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I really like those things. They're just cleaner than normal lagers. But anyway, like those kinds of cleaner, lighter, more Germanic styles are definitely going to make their way to the forefront and be popularized. Kolsch's, Kelsch's,
I wish more
lagers,
Belgian beers.
Belgians, maybe even. I don't know.
I miss
I want to
this.
see more
It's
Belgian
just-
beers. If somebody could make like a session Belgian ale, that'd be fucking awesome.
Everything that you love in a Belgian beer, but at a 4.5%.
Just make it accessible. Just you got to make it accessible to pansies. You know, I'm a pansy beer drinker. Honestly, I like my session IPAs. I like my low ABV West Coast IPAs. I like my Cheez-It infused beers, but like nobody's really doing those types of things right now, and it's sad because every time I go to a brewery, I'm like, it sounds really good, but it's like 9%,
yeah.
and I'm an hour away from home, and I got to drive you back
Yeah.
because you drank too much. So it's like I can't partake. You know, I can have a little sip, but I can't enjoy it. So, you know, I'd love to see more breweries kind of offer more accessible light beers. Like some breweries in this area do it, but they're like, you got a sour, don't like those. You got like a super Belgian beer, maybe I don't like those either. They also got like a porter. It's like, okay, but it's like the middle of summer, I don't want that. You know, it's never what I want with the ABV that I crave. You know what I mean? I want to sit there for hours and drink beers and
But you
not be
can't do
and not
that,
be
yeah.
super swishy when I leave. Like, but I can't, you know.
That's
So it's
true,
tough.
yeah.
It's tough for people like me. But if you're into that big bottle, 12%, you know, get me messed up at the brewery kind of thing, then you're
Yeah.
good, I guess. But whatever, it is what it is. So with that, amazing job on this beer, guys. We really enjoyed it. This is
Very good.
definitely a very good West Coast, like kind of a traditional take on the IPA. I really like that.
It's all for a good cause, which is super important during these times. And
Yeah, people should be buying this in droves. I think this should be like the one beer. If you don't have a fridge full of beers, you should be buying this beer specifically right now. And beers like this. I don't know if this is the only one. Probably in the West Coast, there's some that exist, but you know, breweries that are doing this sort of thing, support those people. Those are the breweries you want to get on board with. Not Sam Adams. They're not doing anything. Well, I think they actually did something with like masks or something. They donated a bunch of money. Regardless, though, it's not tangible.
Yeah.
Get yourself some beer.
yeah.
You know, donate to the causes that need to be donated to, and yeah, stay safe out there. We'll definitely be back with some more reviews during the week, but we plan on doing some more live streams once a week, I would say, on the weekends. I don't think anybody's doing anything anyway because the movie theaters aren't open. Nothing's
You're kind
going
of
on.
locked in. Might as well just join our live
You
stream.
you might as well drink with us. It's fun.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep them under an hour. We failed again miserably, and now it's 2 hours
It
today.
was just so much fun. We just had to get going.
We get carried away. Sorry, the Cheez-Its come in, and you got weirdo beers, and you know our plans for the future. But the format is largely going to stay the same. We're going to do news. We're going to do a beer review, and then we're going to do some open discussion, some questionnaire stuff, and then we'll end it. That's kind of how it's going to go from now on. So anyways, thank you so much to Waters End for producing this amazing beer. We will talk to you guys very soon, and thank you all for joining our live stream. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Nothing there.
Oh yeah, well I got Cheez-Its in my beer anyway, and I got to go over here to end the stream anyway. So.
One drop left.